Well, hello.
Well. How about
God.
that 73-minute intro?
The first happy holidays kind of had me rolling. But thank you guys so much for joining us for your dose of weekly whiskey with John and Jay. It's great to have you guys here. We're not typically live on Tuesdays these days, but we are gathered. We have some guests. We have a good time here. Quick hitter before we get going. Weekly Whiskey is brought to you by Mackie. We are loving working with the gear that we have here in the studio. But with that, I think it's time to drink some whiskey. John, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm still trying to set up. We've got like
I got
uh,
samples everywhere,
a
brother.
3-hour intro, and it still wasn't enough for me to get all these samples poured out. So I really hope chat is ready to party tonight because damn, we're going in.
We're ready to hit it. Yeah, we this I believe. Well, I won't be definitive here, but I believe this is going to be our last live selection of the 2021 calendar year. This is, of course, another single barrel selection for the Our Bourbon single barrel program. This I want to say is we're over 100 at this point, so I won't even look at my spreadsheet. But this
Yeah.
is be a good time. Our first barrel this year was picked much earlier. That was a 5-year Kentucky that absolutely just blew our socks off.
Oh man, that
So
thing was nice.
yeah, and we talked some Barolo. We talked GD Vira earlier in the year with Will, and that got our brains going. The way this went ahead and came about, so people, Redditors who ordered the very first single barrel, we tucked 6 golden tickets into the cases that went out. People didn't know about them. Golden ticket said, when you open this box, go ahead and give us a call. Give us a ring. We've got a surprise for you. And that was how we picked the panelists for this role. So we're joined by 3 panelists from Reddit. Super fun. We'll get there in a second. Who picked up basically the first one, and now they're panelists for our second barrel of the year. So
It pays to buy whiskey.
yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. You got to spend money to make money. Is that
Yeah, got to break a few eggs to whatever the fuck.
all right? Well, what do you say? Should we dive on in?
Let's do it. So
Cool.
we got with us here our holiday correspondent and good buddy Will Schragis from Barrel Bourbon.
Hey,
Will, how
Will.
are you, sir?
Doing great. How are you?
Oh,
Can't
we
complain.
are so good. To steal a line from Ron Bain, if I was doing any better, it'd be illegal. I also haven't spilled any of these on me yet. I am doing a very good job of pouring my samples. I would like to get a little credit from
The night's young. We
chat
have
on
8
that.
samples here, so it
I
could
mean,
happen.
considering the intro of our videos is me spilling whiskey all over my damn self, getting these all into a glass without wearing it is an accomplishment.
It's not going to happen. On that note, let's go ahead and bring on Blake too. We're joined Blake from Bourbonr Seelbachs. We love partnering with Seelbachs to bring great whiskey that we select. Blake, how you doing? He's
You're
on
still
mute.
muted there, Hoss.
Beautiful microphone though.
Yeah. First day
There
with the
we
new
go.
mic.
There we go. Yeah. First time here, guys. No, you know what? I mean, I'm so prepared. I had most of my samples. I'm plugged into my internet, my mic's on, and I forgot my blazer. Most
Classic.
biggest letdown of the night right there. But yeah, maybe halfway through it'll come
I'll
out.
trade
We'll
a
see.
power cord for a blazer anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll trade your battery not dying on your laptop.
That's what it's
Fair
all
enough.
about.
That's a valid point. That's valid. But no, thanks for
So-
having me.
Yeah. thanks.
Additionally, here we've got a panel of our bourbon members that, as Jay mentioned,
Hell
were
yeah.
golden ticket winners. I'm going to pull these guys in now. We're going to be joined tonight by Dan, Ben, and Evan. Guys, how are you all?
Full house.
What's up, guys?
We
Doing
are
great, thanks.
really maxing out this layout here, but I think we'll get away with it.
We're so close to Brady Bunch. We're so
Oh
close.
yes. Oh yeah. I should have rolled that intro out. That would have been the way to do it.
Like,
There's
hadn't
still
occurred to
some
me.
time in the intro. You know, you could have thrown it on top of the jingle bells.
Yeah, I think right in between that and the logo drop, I think it would have tucked in there nicely.
yeah.
We
That
could've pulled
intro
it.
was like if someone had a assignment to make a 4-minute video for like a
Yep.
video editing class, and then they were like, "Oh,
Here's my
it's only
45-second
2 hours,
song.
240
I'll just
yeah.
play it 3 times on a loop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I put some drums in, I can redo the whole second part again.
That's right.
That's not to waylay this too much. I don't know if you guys are fans of the comedian John Mulaney, but he has a
Oh, yeah.
wonderful segment called the Salt and Pepper Diner, where he tees up what's a pussycat like 11 times, and he's like, the second time it plays, you can see everyone think like, did he play it twice, or is it just a long song with a dip in the middle? that would have worked for the intro. I think it was just
Though
a long song.
I
with a
feel
dip in
like
the
he's
middle.
made some questionable choices recently. My favorite part of that bit is when he's like, the fourth time is when people go, "What's going on?" Someone just played "What's Up Pussycat" 4 times, or at the very least, they played it twice, and it's a very long song.
Exactly. So maybe that'll be the next intro. But without further ado, Ben, Dan, Evan, it's great to have you. It's great to see Reddit coming up into the computer for some whiskey tasting. So we are tasting Barrell Bourbon, I presume, Barrel Craft Spirits, single barrels. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little primer, Will, and then we'll go ahead and start tasting.
Okay, so we have 8 samples here. Jay, you asked me to mess with you a little bit. So represented here are 5 different finishes. There are, if I had to guess, somewhere around 10 or 11 different distilleries represented in the blends that are here. Not everything is finished. Not everything is a blend. There's a couple of single barrels. Everything is 116 proof or over, and everything is 133 proof or under. It's all the same price per bottle, but it's about as different as you can get via American whiskey. There's a couple of things that are a little bit more in the standard, you see it on the shelf wheelhouse release, and there's a couple of things that are certainly zany.
We
and
like
they're,
that shit.
Yeah, and there are things that are going to pop up from other interviews we've done, and there are things that we have not tasted together before.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there's got to be that GD Vire in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that was the Easter egg, I think.
That's how I got you to let me back on.
That was the hook from last time.
Which is funny, actually. GD Vira got distribution here in Wisconsin, so I bought some the other
Very
day.
cool.
But that's a red one. But cool. So we're gonna go ahead and taste these in order of proof, all the way from 116.96 to 133.62. So quite the range. But I'm curious. So I've got the first one here.
I think in the interest in time and palate, also, we should try to get through all of these pretty quickly, and then talk about the 2 or 3 or 4 that you like.
Yeah. I'm 4 in so far. I hope you guys are ready to blast off here.
Is it bad that I've already gone through all of them?
No,
I was gonna say I didn't
Right there with
admit
you.
the 6, but yeah, I was starting to pour the last 2 now.
you used the intro wisely.
That's
Wow.
why the intro was so long, so you guys had time to finish the first half of each bottle.
That's right.
Right out 119 and 120 jump out. 120 especially is like a total fruit tune in.
120, I'm with you.
So 2, 3, 4. The 123, I swear this is like a campfire toasted marshmallow or something. Like, get a lot of s'mores notes there. Ooh, it's the proof hits on the back, but up front it's just like toasted marshmallows and graham cracker.
Oh, I like the nose on that.
I thought the 123 was super unique personally.
Yeah.
I like both. The 120 and 123 are the first ones to jump out. Oh, yeah. You said marshmallow, and now it's all marshmallow.
Yeah.
120 reminds me of Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, but with
Yes.
less oak.
Yes.
And Will, I think you
I get
nailed
that.
it. Like, these couldn't be any more different than like they're just
There's no peat, and that's
so-
about all they have in common. No peat and cast strength.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the 116 and 117 are nice, but they don't really super crazy jump out of me. Like
I
they're
agree.
they're lighter. They're like really tight in profile. Like they're very
I thought
consistent.
117 was fun.
It is. That one's like buttered biscuits.
It's a good one.
Is Booker's gonna sue you now? Isn't that
I swear, opening up all the samples, I'm like, oh, there's got to be some kind of rum finish cask on these, and I think it was just the tape that I was smelling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe I'm off on this,
It's
but
that high
on those
ester
first
tape.
2 samples, I'm like, oh yeah, that's got to be some rum. And I'm like, nope, I'm not really getting it as much.
Smelling the sample bottles
Yeah.
was definitely a lot different.
129's a party.
Oh boy. Oh no, we're good. I thought I already mixed them up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Ben?
Oh man. 120 is the most distinctive. It's funny. You said not as much oak as Jack Daniel's single barrel. I wrote strong oak was the 20,
Okay.
but it is very distinctive for sure. I don't know. Maybe my palate's starting to get blown out, but this 133 is starting to. I don't know. There's something. I'm just.
The
I'm
133,
gonna
I think if we had done this blinded proof, I don't think anyone would have guessed the 133 was the highest proof.
I'm really into the 133.
Okay. Ooh, 127 is nice too.
Yeah, the 127 is nice, and the 129 I thought was pretty nice too.
I'm between the 127 and 129 personally.
Ooh. Okay, I did just hit 133.
129 is that's
It's a party.
much more floral and like herbaceous.
Jay and John, what do you think of after we do a first pass and eliminate a few? I'll actually do the reveals as to what they are, so that we're not making a lot of people watch us say numbers for an hour.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I was just listening to it and thinking, like, if I was watching this, I would be extremely confused right now.
I mean,
It's like
I
we're
always
talking in
wish,
code. We're
yeah, that they made a third Da Vinci Code movie, but I'm okay with that. I think that's a good call.
I think no one's ever said that before.
I mean, I just watched the second one. And I was like, they should have just made one of these. So
Wow.
actually, so
129 is a bouquet. Absolutely, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
and I
really
think
good.
133 may be that rum. That I think that's the rum I was finally getting.
see, I think
I can see
123
that.
has definitely got some rum in there.
It's
and I
finished
hate-
with something. I think.
I
Jamaican
hate
rum.
Will's face because it's too good of a poker face. I'll say things and just watch him, and it's just stone cold. He doesn't react. I'm like, is his screen frozen or is he...
This is not his first time. Come on.
I was gonna make an ambulance joke, but we haven't heard one.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It'll happen, I'm sure.
Wow. Yeah, these are incredibly unique. That I mean,
Barbadian rum.
Yep.
Finish.
Jay, I was in Kentucky, I don't know, like a month ago or so, and rather than looking at the list and picking, I like sat down with like 20 options and
Oh, really?
picked these. Yeah.
oh, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, yeah, you had mentioned that you were like, we should do this because I need to do some tinkering, and I was like, I just assumed you're gonna like pull up Excel and like pick a bunch of stuff, but
No, I mean, we didn't blend these for this tasting, but I looked at a lot of options, and what we
That's
had
what I'm
talked
saying.
about would be exciting to you. Yeah.
oh man, yeah, the 129 is crazy.
129 is crazy.
The only one I haven't tried yet is the 133, which is coming up next. I thought that I have 7 glasses for what I thought was 7 samples, so I have to like do a little shuffle.
Well, we're tasting also the Stellum barrels that we picked the last time I was here are on their way to DC now.
Hell yeah, that was 3
great.
Stellum Rye, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. 2 or
That's
3, yeah.
exciting. Yeah, I think 3. That was actually, believe it or not, I was writing down the tasting notes for those the other day. I have them. Yeah, 3 of them right there.
I think tomorrow we get some of the. Is it the Stellum Black Label?
Yeah.
Is the new one? Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Actually, that same trip to Kentucky, another thing that Joe and Nick and Tripp did to me is one of the days I walked in and there were like 30 bourbon samples out, and they said, pick your favorite. Like, we haven't done this in a long time. And it was old batches, other companies' products, and ingredients for other things. And I'm not doing this as a plug for Stellum Black over other things, but totally blind. The sample I picked that was my favorite happened to be Stellum Black,
Cool.
Oh,
which is nice because now when people say, what are your favorite things you guys released this year? It's Barrell Bourbon Batch 20, or bourbons at least, Barrell Bourbon Batch 27 and Stellum Black.
okay.
Price just went up at Seelbachs. Here we go.
I could see that 5% going up every time we mention it.
Well, what's interesting about Stellum
Get a
Black too is
plug.
there was a reasonable amount of Stellum Black bourbon. It's small, but like there was very, very little Stellum Black rye.
Mhm.
And when we sort of got together as a company and talked about Stellum, if the like purpose of blending Stellum was make the best $55 bottle of bourbon or rye on the shelf, the purpose of Stellum Black was make a release that a couple years from now will go down in history as like, shit, I wish I bought a bottle of that when I could.
I like that marketing attempt. That's good.
So it was like very deliberately sort of understated in what it was. We kind of wanted it to, because they were small blends, we wanted it to sort of fall under
okay.
the radar for a little while.
Did
That
we
makes
try
sense.
that last time you were on, Will?
That
don't
was
know if we did or
Dark
not.
Matter.
Dark Matter.
Oh
we tried,
yeah, that's right. It was dark.
Which is
Oh,
in the
that's
same family as Stellum Black, but
Okay.
Dark Matter was one for specifically Death and Co. and Stellum
Yeah.
Black was a national
Yeah.
release.
Give me a
cool.
10-second primer on Tara or Tara. What's
Also part of that same
Okay.
Stellum Tara is that same. It's the core of Stellum is the like soul of it, and then we use older, generally like more like fruity barrels to blend like layers into it, and we do a like style of blending where we'll add barrels we know will taste good with it, let it sit for a while, taste it, and like we'll keep doing that. But it's not like we're trying to perfect it. It's like we'll change it each time until in the lab we feel like we can't make it any better.
Huh.
And so it's like Joe
Mini
calls it
Solera.
layered blending. It's more like go home, sleep on it, decide if you're done, but over the course of like a month.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a time intensive but like fun. It's a fun project to be going on while you're doing other things too.
I dig it. All right, guys, let's go through and everybody kick 3 out.
That 133. Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Everybody got 3 they can push back, you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I think I could either do 116 or 117. I think they both may be older Canadian rye base. And then I'd probably maybe even go 119. I hate to just act like I only like high proof stuff, but those first 3 I tasted, actually went back and tasted them again, make sure. And they were interesting for sure, but I feel like the others, there was plenty more in the other 5 that I thought outpaced those 3.
I'm with you. What do you think, Ben?
I'd be fine with that. I think 119 is actually beautiful, but
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if it's going to hold up to some of the other stuff. But 119 is, I would not be unhappy with the bottle of that.
I'm with you.
I would go, me personally, I'd go 116, 117, 127 would be my 3 I'd push out right now.
Okay.
Same ones I picked.
I'd be okay with that too. That's.
I think Dan might actually be frozen. Oh no, he's there. Very
am I
pensy.
next here? I was pushing out the 116, 117, 119.
Okay.
I the same as Will. I don't want to necessarily say I'm only into the high proof stuff, but I think those 3 to me didn't match up with the rest.
Fair. Evan?
Yeah, I was right there with Ben. 16, 17, 127. Kind of 119, 127, I keep going back and forth on. But if I had to pick 3, it's kind of like picking the worst of the best. These are all fantastic. But yeah, I'd probably do 16, 17, 27.
Okay. I'm good. I don't know. I'm tough. I liked 19 and I kind of like 27, but I definitely feel 16 and 17 going out. Let's think about it this way. What was everyone's opinion of 120? Like really thumbs up, kind of thumbs in the middle, thumbs down?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
I thought it was
nose is
good.
just doing something crazy. I can't even figure it out, but I can smell it all day long.
Was that that was 123. Hold on, let me. I'll redo 120 again.
Yeah, 123 reminds
I don't want to
me of-
make this harder than it should be, but in defense of 117, I really like 117.
The
God
nose
damn
on
it.
117 is
Yeah.
awesome. It's like this big old pancake breakfast going on.
And it's like extremely like honeyed.
Yes.
I got like a melon on it, like a lighter melony note, and I think with
It's got that very light style of whiskey, but
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should keep it. I just
which I think that's hard with this is it's like something that is like very nice and nuanced and more subtle. It's hard to put against a lot of whiskeys,
Yeah.
and because it's like it's like barbecue competitions. What wins is a rib that's just glossed on with sugar and spice and everything, and
yeah,
you
that's
never
why I
wanna
wanted to
eat.
bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to keep it in here. Everyone seemed to before me consensus kick it out, but I do think that that's a really special whiskey.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah, I'm good booting it.
117 was pretty cool.
Sorry.
Thanks for your plug, Will. We're gonna boot it.
Cool.
It was really nice. I think that
I
there's
think my
some
palate
really...
is close to being roasted at this point. So disregard everything I say from here.
No. I think...
Okay, so let's boot 116, 117, 119, 127, and talk about the other four.
Yeah, I think any strong opposition to that?
No, I mean, I think if we're doing two, my top two won't be with any of those.
And we can always pull one back if we need
Yeah.
to at the end. But
Yeah,
do you want the reveals, or should we just say they're out and not talk about it?
So that
Well,
gives us final four.
reveal
I
them.
think reveal is good enough here.
116, 117 were two of the Weimer finishes.
Oh, really? The Rieslings?
It was the 16 was the Joseph Vineyard, and 17 was the Magdalena Vineyard.
Interesting. Okay.
119 is a private release bourbon. It's a 5 to 15 or 5 to 16-year-old blend. And 127, I have to look up because I keep forgetting it in my head, is a Verdejo Madeira finished private release whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Verdejo
explains
Madeira
that.
is Joe's favorite fortified wine. But they're gone.
I'm okay with that.
Dead
I
to
mean,
us now. Yeah.
I really like, I like the Riesling finish in general, but I know it's pretty divisive, and I think, yeah, they had some good character to them.
that weren't complete. They're large, slightly larger blends, and they're half committed by other people. So,
Which
but I
ones were
wanted
those?
the two Weimers. They're
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do?
Everything else will be exclusive.
Cool. All right. Do we want to deliberate a little bit more on the final four, or do we want reveals for those as well? What do you think, guys?
I'm good either way. I mean, we could try to narrow it down.
I think we should
more.
pick one favorite blind, and then we
Yeah.
should reveal
like
and
that.
pick from the other three.
I like it.
On board.
I have all four.
We
of
should
these
pick
poured.
one favorite and then say why it's 123. I think is what we should do.
Blake, I could just send you some Armida if you want.
That's my palate is very basic. If it's sweeter and desserty, I'm like, yep, that's what I like. They're like, no, what about that? I'm like, no, give me marshmallows all day.
Yeah, 123 is very sweet. Originally, I wanted to say that it was like a not Jamaican funky rum, but like a light ester rum. But I'm almost leaning towards this being like ice wine or something super extracted, maybe Tokai.
But it doesn't have like that like ripe fruit that I've had in some Tokai finishes before.
This is really custardy,
custardy, yeah. This is creme brulee at
Yeah.
fancy Ruth Chris Steakhouse. This is it.
Or
like
Burns
your
if you're in
style.
Tampa, guys.
Burns, yeah. Perfect opportunity to plug Burns that I missed.
Blake, do you live near there?
We're like 3 hours.
Okay, so
Jacksonville's
but
not
kind
too
of.
bad. Yeah,
it's accessible.
I forgot that you were in Jacksonville. I knew you were in Northern Florida, but I couldn't remember where it was.
Yeah. Oh, people forget how big Florida is and how we're basically South Georgia in Jacksonville. They're like, oh, I'm coming to Florida. Where will we be? Fort Lauderdale. I'm like, okay, I'm faster to meet you in Kentucky, I think. And
I did that one time. I was actually at my wife's parents' condo in Fort Lauderdale, and I was like, I'll go up and see Blake. And I pulled up in Google Maps, and I was like, back to the pool.
That happens to me in LA all the time when I'm there for work, because I often am in LA for a day or two as a hub to go somewhere else on the West Coast that's smaller. And I always have this urge to look up an old friend or something. And then it's like, nope, I'm not in that LA. I'm in a different LA. Like, I'm not going to go spend 2 hours to see this person for a drink while I'm here for 2 days.
Yeah, that's...
But if I ever go to Wisconsin, Jay, I will find you.
You just got to stay in the part where the people are, because we're also a big state, but there's nothing in most of it.
We actually had a really funny moment with Wisconsin this past week. There's all of these metrics with, I guess, judging brands of any category, but alcohol brands. And you always try to find ways to compare year over year that doesn't give an advantage to one year or another. And so when we were doing 2020 versus 2021, one of the ways that we decided to do it was we pulled out the gold label bourbon. We pulled out Seagrass because Seagrass really blew up this year.
Kicks ass.
And we what else? And we pulled out Stellum because Stellum was launched this year.
Yep.
And then we were like, okay, we have to pull out any markets that were a huge difference between the two for reasons that weren't because of our work. And the only two markets that we, looking at the analysis, had to pull out as like unreasonably tilting towards 21 versus 20 were Maine and Wisconsin.
Wow, it's
Classic
like those
Maine.
weekly whiskey guys, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wisconsin was a really, really amazing launch for us. So thank you, Jay. And John, you are the reason what we got into Maine. Your email. And
I'm pretty sure you're the reason, man. I just do words on the internet.
you sent the email, and the woman that works in the office there was like, absolutely, just tell me how many I should order.
Yeah, Tracy's great. She loves that. Get things into the state, especially things that people want. So
It's really cool. And working with the boards in all of the different control states, you never know what the ego of the person controlling it's going to be like.
sure.
Not that I would speak ill of anyone that works in a control state. I love all of you.
Very nicely
Sounds
done. So anybody who's just joining us here, we're selecting a single barrel or 5, depending how this works out, of Barrell Bourbon for the Reddit R Bourbon community. Partnered up with our good buddy Blake from Seelbachs, and we're joined here by Will Schragis from Barrell Bourbon and a panel of fine gentlemen who won golden tickets by purchasing other selections that we made previous in the year.
Yeah. Also, should we do the golden tickets again? Was that fun for the three of you getting it? Should we?
That was awesome.
Yeah. You want to do another round of golden tickets with this?
That was
Not
great.
you guys specifically, of course.
Well, I mean,
You
I mean,
never
I'm not
know.
gonna say no.
Luck of
Random
the
is
draw.
random.
Pays to buy
random.
whiskey. That's
Yeah.
right.
yeah, no, that'd be fun. It was really cool. I got a couple emails that were like, they're like, I think something from some other group, and I was like, it said our bourbon on it, but whatever. Yeah, if you guys thought it was cool, I'm glad it was well received because it's the only time we've done something like that. So really,
That was
really
very
interesting.
cool. I felt like Charlie in
This is-
Chocolate Factory.
Totally.
Ran around the
That's
house with my ticket.
I felt like a real big deal when I got that.
Okay. Well, then we got to do it.
Next
Yeah.
time I will like wear Gene Wilder style clothes and like do my hair like that. And,
Wow.
There's a woman that works for us out of Colorado who's manages like the whole west side of the country for us, and the two of us have similar sense of humor, and we have this long running joke about, started before the pandemic of course, but doing one trip a year, one like visitation group that was the weird trip, which was like only for people we thought have good senses of humor, and like have it be Willy Wonka themed and like sing songs and be like just because there's so many weird cool experiments going on blending wise that like we probably could be like, this is the tank with the like fantabulous bubble whiskey and
Sparkling
I most
whiskey.
certainly want to try that. When you get the fantabulous bubble whiskey, send me some, please.
I thought that's basically what the lab was at the Barrell facilities. Like you go in there, it's like, oh well, here's what we did here. I'm like, how many experiments do y'all do a day? This
I'm always amazed when we get samples, and at some point, I think that like Will has one of those ad lib books like off screen, and it's like this is sourced from it was sourced from here and finished in here and blended with these like pick 9 random adjectives, and and, I mean, you guys are outstanding. It's hard to get bored at Barrell, I have to imagine.
Okay, guys.
I was gonna say getting a golden ticket was awesome because I buy a lot of bourbon, but getting a golden ticket to do a barrel pick from Barrell is incredible. I mean,
even better.
it does not get better than that. I mean,
cool.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, on that note,
Okay, we got 4 that we got to pick at least one from to before the reveal, and then I'll reveal the rest.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
kick
let's hear
one of
some
these
thoughts.
out, and then, like Blake said, after we could talk about why you kicked out 129. I'm kidding. Pick whatever you want. Just tell me why you kicked out 129.
129 is just extremely fragrant. I feel like it really reminds me of like Calvados, like really effervescent, really, kind of effervescent like brandies and young like eau de vie and stuff like that. I don't not like it, but it's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's got a good finish, good amount of spice to it too. But some of the other ones I think just stand out a little bit more for me. Kind of because they're a little bit wilder. Obviously, the 123 is it's its own creature, and then the 133 also stands out in a way that I kind of dig.
Yeah.
on the fence really between 127 and 129, but I think 127 pulls ahead just a little bit more for me.
I thought we kicked out 127.
She gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I have 123 here. That's my fault.
127's in the losers bracket, though it doesn't necessarily mean
It can work its way
I
up in
don't
a
know
double
if
elimination
we're
tournament.
like totally
but,
set on that branding. Are we going with losers bracket, Will?
yeah.
I hope
I'm
nobody
with
else
you.
picks that one later down the
I
road.
feel like 120 is really interesting, whereas 123 and 133 drink sweeter to me. 120 almost has some more that herbally, almost. I want to say some kind of like, I don't know, like herbal liqueur finish. You know, I don't even know what that would be, but just
It's
a
the
lot of
Jägermeister
interesting.
finish.
Yeah, the Jaeger finish, a lot of interesting, like just like dried leather and like dried tobacco on the back end for me.
I think 120 is a little medicinal, like, and I like that sometimes, but it might like I keep going back to it. I'm like I'm not sure if it's too much.
It's definitely it's not trying to hide at all.
I have a theory
getting
of
better.
what the end of this is going to be if you'd like me to call the shot right now, or I can put it in the chat,
Yeah.
or I
No,
can say it out loud.
Let's.
Is it
I'll
right
let-
I know
with
what I know
us
the two
getting
that I
more
like
than one
best.
barrel.
All
I know
right,
the
Jay,
two
what's
that I
the
like
two that you like best? That'll be a good way of.
I like 123 because it like has that super nougaty, super sweet, super kind of extracted character to it. And I like 133. It's just really rich, it's really viscous. It has like a little bit of everything that I like, and this wonderful like the tannin is just dialed in just right. Those are the two that I like.
My theory is that we're going to pick 123, and then I'm going to reveal them, and you're going to end up wanting 133 and 120 also.
It's happened before, so it doesn't surprise
Yeah.
me.
I mean, I would be okay with kicking out 129 and having a 3-piece and a biscuit. So could
I do like
okay with
biscuit.
doing that.
What do you think, Ben?
I got 120. Honestly, I got 120. I got 133 just on because it's insane crushability at that proof point. And then I got 129, and I think they're all three beautiful. But yeah, in that order: 120, 133, 129 for sure.
Okay. Dan?
Initially I had 133 kind of tapering closer to the end, but the more that I smell it, the more that I sip on it. 133, 123, 129, 120. That's
Okay, 120 in last place.
yeah.
Evan?
I'm right there with Jay. I'm torn between 123 and 133. I keep going back to the 133 though, so maybe that's something. If I had to cut one now, I would cut 120, and 123, 133 are a close tie for first, with 129 in second.
Okay. What Blake John? Not
Blake John, y'all go ahead. I think 123 for me, just because it, like Ben said, it's got that crushability at a high proof. Like, it just doesn't drink like that. 133 is right there for me, and 120 is just underneath that. I think between the three of those, I'm happy with any of them, but it sounds like we can get more than one, so definitely two of
Take us home here, John. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm on board with 123, 133. I think I probably would have had. I did have 129. I got so many fucking glasses here. I got these a little bit out of order now. So I've been like trying to move the sample bottles out of the way to keep the glasses lined up. But I think my final order would have included 129. But I'd be just as happy with 120. Since the beginning, I liked that one. So 123 and 133 for me are. I think we'd be foolish to not seriously consider purchasing both.
Sorry, I
Cool.
gotta bust some spam in the chat.
Ban
here real
that
quick.
idiot. I got it. Done.
Man, it's like being on Reddit, but at nighttime.
It's always work, isn't it?
It's always. At least it's
I
not
did
nature,
check the
but-
link though. I mean, it was terrible.
Was it legit? Okay.
No.
Damn. All right.
It was just
Hold
on
on, I missed a link.
Seelbachs.com, like some place where you buy whiskey.
Some spam site. Yeah.
All right. So 120. It sounds like to me 123 and 133 are kind of the two top contenders, with 129 kind of right there on their heels. Does that sound about accurate?
Yeah.
I should have been like writing this down with like an abacus, but
That's
I would agree with that.
Should we do the reveal so we can start talking about them in a way
Yes,
that other
let's
people
go
can
through it.
understand?
Yeah, let's do that.
How do you want me to do this?
Go-
Should I
Go backwards from proof.
backwards from proof? So 133 is the GD Vira finish. It was the highest proof of the GD Vira finishes. I've been holding this in my back pocket for a long time.
For a long time.
I'm glad you did.
This is a true Rivera finish. So it's the sort of like most iron driven. And because of that, Nick, when she was putting it together, used a reasonable amount of very high proof bourbon in it. So there's
So good.
Indiana Light, Indiana Rye, Kentucky Corn Whiskey, Kentucky Bourbon. I think those are the only components.
I was gonna say it really
blended
drinks
together.
for me like one of those light whiskeys, or the like the those Bull Run single barrel American
Yeah,
whiskeys
this
that we did.
this
It
had
was
Bull
like-
Run written all over it.
so, yeah, it had so much of that.
And so
Popcorn
this is
recipe.
that's 133. You said.
Correct.
I would have bet my life on a rum finish, but
I didn't agree with you on that, but I was just like, look, man, there's so many fucking things here that are crazy. I'm not going to start drawing lines in the sand on what tastes like what. It is a
Well, I mean-
easy way to die.
If the last selection is anything, right? We were like, this is amazing. This is a 12-year Armagnac finish. And John was like, yep. And
it's
like,
a 5-year-old bourbon.
Will was like, 5-year-old Kentucky bourbon. And we're like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, that's not finishing.
We're
anything, and
so
you guys
good
are
at
all
this.
idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that
I
is
was
so
like,
good.
129 is this is wild to me tasting it now again, is a Canadian rye, but in lining up a bunch of Canadian ryes,
okay.
it has a lot of color on it for Canadian rye. I
Ton
think
of
it was one that went into a really active barrel, either new oak or like young bourbon barrel.
Yep.
And so it definitely has that like white flower Canadian note, but it has like a lot more body. It's labeled as a 14-year-old, but it was 15 when we bottled it.
Yeah, it's got a ton of proof for being that old too.
Yeah,
I thought
it's
that was a phenomenal pour.
It's a really good single barrel. Some of the other ones
Yeah.
have more going on because they were blends, but
one's nice.
as single barrels go, it was a really cool single barrel.
Yeah, that one stuck with me for a while.
123, the one that seems to be the consensus favorite is a Jamaican rum finish, private
There you go,
release
Blake.
whiskey.
There you go.
Jay, you called that right at the beginning too.
That's the sweetness there, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a good
nice
amount
that.
of Kentucky corn in it. There's definitely some Indiana bourbon. I think there's some Indiana rye and some Kentucky bourbon in it too.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then 120, which I'm a little surprised you guys didn't like more. Last time you surprised me picking the Kentucky bourbon, and so I tried to throw another one in there. 120 is just a really awesome 6-year-old Kentucky bourbon barrel.
Cool.
And I thought you were going to pick it again. I was getting so excited to rub that in your face.
You guys are total idiots.
I mean,
You can still say it.
it's good. It's just not as good as the top 3 in my opinion. And this is like, people always ask like, what's the hardest barrel pick you've been on? And I tell them 4 Roses, because nothing is bad, right? Like it's really easy to be like bad. All right, now I get to decide between the 2 good. But when you have 8 good, it gets really difficult.
I feel that way about the Jack Daniels picks too, because Jack Daniels
gosh.
are the masters of every barrel tastes the same.
Yeah.
And so it's like, here's 3 to 5 options that like
You're splitting
get up,
hairs
you-
on.
You get up, you spin around, you sit down, you have another whiskey, and it's like the same. And like, they're all good.
Yeah. What I noticed with Jack Daniels is like the ethanol management. You're like, this one tastes great. This one tastes great. This one just ripped my face off. Like, you're out. And then you find out that it was only 129 proof and you're drinking like 138 proof, and it tastes, yeah, they have a weird program, and it's a lot of fun.
On the 120 for me, the reason why I had kicked it to the end was exactly for the reason that you said that it was a Kentucky bourbon, and it just seems so similar to what I had had in the past, and the uniqueness of the other drums just kind of kicked that one for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was just looking for the crazy shit.
Yeah.
That 129 really scratched an itch, though. I like that one. That held on right to the end for me.
Yeah.
This is tough now. Yeah, so, man, I just tasted a 129 again, and I really like it.
I was not
With that
expecting to like the
reveal-
123 so much. The 123 really is showing well. The 123 really is showing well.
Yeah, that popped out.
Mhm.
I think it's still 123 and 133 for me. Just
I'm with you.
like
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
what's the 133?
GD Vira Rivera finish.
Okay.
So it's a
I mean,
Barolo finish, a cru Barolo finish.
yeah, you don't see a ton of that. I feel like I would have picked that very early on from a taste perspective, and then to get a Barolo finish. I don't know that I've had one before, and I'm up for whoever wants to make them again now because that was really good. So, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that one's definitely my top, which doesn't super
Really
surprise
good.
me because the last time we tasted a similar, the last time we had you on, Will, that was one of them. And I just like
It's
I
not
remember,
the same one that we tasted before, but
same finish though. John
Yeah.
was all in on the Cognac Park, I want to say it was.
Yep.
And I looked
the
over and my
Cognac Park
GD Vira
XO.
sample was empty. So
Yeah, those are good. I mean, the nose on that alone, it's got a lot going on. I mean, you could really hang out with that thing.
it's also like it's
Man.
a gentle monster at 133 proof.
Yeah,
Really
that's
is.
also good.
Oh yeah.
not that there's like a huge difference, but I noticed the proof on 129 a lot more. Like
Mm.
129 is flavorful but proofy. You're like,
Yep.
oh, okay, it's 129. But wow. Okay, so what do you think? We should definitely take 133. Everyone?
Yes.
Any strong objections to 133? Okay, cool. So let's definitely pick that one. I think that one super
And then
unique.
123 was the sort of consensus favorite too.
Yeah. Does anyone got ill thoughts about 123?
No.
All right.
Not a
I
one.
dig that one.
Cool. Well, that's 2 barrels.
Those are probably also the two craziest, I think.
The Jamaican rum is really nice. It's sweet, but not too funky, right? Like it doesn't just totally come in and blow the doors off. Have you guys had Jamaican rum before, Ben, Dan, Evan?
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay. Ben?
Not so much Jamaican rum. No, I got the barrel with the rum finish right here though, baby.
Oh, nice.
This thing's pretty sweet. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you haven't, I will send you a sample because Jamaican rum is one of the most interesting things I think that anyone can drink. We're talking like high ester, so it's got like just total funk.
Well, in that case, I've never tried it before.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
I'm picking up.
Well,
Neither
you're
have I.
sending it out.
I haven't tried it either. If you're saying that's
God damn it, Blake.
Jay and John and Blake, just so you know, I might have said this before, but the 123, the Jamaican rum, is from a set that are yielding a little bit more. So there'll be probably like 240 bottles or so of that.
Cool.
Okay.
perfect.
I think that's, I'll admit the 5-year Kentucky, I was like, ooh boy, this, I wasn't sure that people were going to really see the allure and how good it was. And it went right away. So I
was
think
gonna
that,
say, is that 6-year Kentucky still available?
Here we
Yeah,
go.
Blake,
Just like
you know
Will
a guy.
Yeah. I mean,
Once I tell you what they are, you're going to want to buy them.
Blake, why don't we do this?
available,
I'll send
back
you
on the
2 or 3
third.
samples, and I'll sneak this same sample in, and you can pick
Okay.
from those.
Perfect. Done.
So you're not on the spot now.
Well, I
you
feel
gotta
like
buy
I'm
it.
always doing the sales pitching, so you can't put me on the spot. Like I'm like, yeah, let's take it. We're good. Never want to be
All
too
eight.
greedy, though.
Yeah. You said we could buy them all, right? Let's just let it rain.
yeah. Okay. So definitely 133, that GD Vira is just beautiful.
Yeah,
We'll
it
definitely
is.
do the Jamaican finish. I really liked 129. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of funky. I thought for sure that those 2 Riesling finishes were going to be Canadian rye. So I'm surprised that I missed the
There's no
Canadian rye.
Canadian in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's that
Man,
like
yeah,
white flowersness, that white flower like honey thing from the Riesling.
Yeah,
It's
that
tricky.
pancake syrup and like
Mhm.
pear kind of brown butter thing always throws me off.
I just want to Watchman 999 just commented.
Gotcha.
Thanks for thank you so much. We just entered Canada. That's so cool to hear. Canada has we are only in one province in Canada, and it has been really amazing to see the response to it. I can't wait until I can come visit in a way that it's a little difficult to come as like a traveling salesman, for lack of a better term, right now. But the response in Canada has been fantastic, and we actually have another shipment with some of our allocated stuff heading out next week. So it's going to be a fun 2022 in Canada for us, I hope. If anyone has any secrets on how to get listed in the East, let me know.
Bring a lot of seagrass, and I think that'll probably grease the skin.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Cool. Well, first off, thank you. This was crazy. I'm both surprised and not surprised based on the diversity here and just the craziness, but that Jamaican rum really snuck in there. That was nice.
Yeah.
And also, Jay, if you want to try to get the Vira out quickly, we can get it to Blake as a shipping partner in a week or two, probably.
Okay. We will we'll chat by the old emails.
Yeah.
We'll send
the rum finish will take a little bit. It's not bottled yet, but
that's fair.
Vira
And the GD Vira fairly healthy yield, or is...
I think it's 32 6-packs.
Cool. I had Bullet deliver a 36 bottle barrel the other day, so
nice.
That's
Sweet.
fresh in my mind.
You'd think they would weigh it before they show it to you.
I just was kind of like, and where's the rest?
It's 31 6-packs and 5 bottles.
Rock on. Okay, cool. That's great. So a lot of people will get to experience it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. That's I'm really glad you guys picked that one. It's a cool barrel, and it's the last of the GD Viras, I think.
Even better.
Christmas comes early. All right.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
Cool. Well, this has been an awesome selection, guys. We'll go ahead and chat in the green room some more afterwards. But first off, Dan, Ben, Evan, thank you so much for kind of putting yourselves out here, for signing up. I'm glad that you accepted the golden ticket that showed up with your bottle, and we'll go ahead and do this again. It's been great to have you guys.
Great to be here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's fun. We try and do as many of these as possible. We'll get even more done in 2022. So thank you guys for joining us. Blake, go ahead and give us the light plug on Seelbachs, because this is where these will be selling. So where can people find you?
Yeah, definitely. As always, thanks for having me. It's always a lot of fun and really cool to taste different things. But Seelbachs.com, SEELBACHS.com, or you can just Google Seelbachs and eventually you'll find your way there, because I know it's hard to spell out. It's not the easiest one. I should have thought that through, but oh well, here we are. So
SEO.
Thanks for having me, guys. Looking forward to getting these on the site.
Hell yeah. And Will, I mean, this wouldn't have been as awesome as it was without you here. What if people are looking for more from Barrell? I know we've got a little segment coming up. We'll talk about that later when we can get past the kind of the waiting period. But if people are looking for what you guys currently have out, you guys just dropped your gold label, where can they find more about Barrell?
So going to our website is the best way to find out things about us. Barrellbourbon.com or Stellum.com. Stellumspirits.com goes to the same place. What I would encourage everyone to do is to sign up for the Barrell Bourbon newsletter. Even though the website has a lot of information and our handles on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok are talking about our brands all the time, the real serious this is coming out right now or this is the stuff that's going on happens with our newsletter. We don't spam you. We send out maybe 2 a month at most. And I would say that it is a good newsletter to be in. Every once in a while, we are able to get the newsletter out right when an award happens, and the last couple bottles are available from our website. And so it's a good one to be on.
Excellent. Well, thank you again. This has been awesome. So if you guys are watching, both of these barrels will be available through the Our Bourbon single barrel program. They'll probably, like we were talking about, one might squeak into 2021. Otherwise, we'll be looking at 2022 for the other. You know where to find the list of barrels. You know how to get the information. Sign on up. And for everyone else, thank you so much for joining us. It's been another dose of Weekly Whiskey with John and Jay. It's been great to have you guys. Really liked we get to do this. And cheers. It's fun to drink whiskey with you.
Cheers.
So,
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.